The naval leadership has taken its cue from the political leadership, which has articulated India's area of influence as being from the Gulf of Aden right at the Straits of Malacca. Now, the Navy, in its present form, with all its platforms, all its combatants, is more than adequate for this area of influence, where you have your twin carrier battle groups. The Navy's maritime strategy revolves around aircraft carriers. You have the Vikrant and you have the Vikramaditya, which have their own escort ships. They have submarines and all of that. So these are fit for this existing area of influence from the Gulf of Aden to the Malacca Straits. Now, Malacca Straits are important because you have the Malacca Straits, then you have the Ombai-Wetar, the Sunda and the Lombok Straits. These four straits are going to be used by the PLA Navy to enter the Indian Ocean. And they've been doing that over the last nearly 16 or 17 years that they've been deployed in the anti-piracy patrols of the Red Sea. They've used it to expand their influence, to test their readiness to forward deploy in the Indian Ocean region, because more than 60% of their energy supplies flow through the Persian Gulf. And they're very worried about the safety of these being disrupted in conflict, possibly with the United States. So they've been forward positioning their ships and building up their sea legs. Now, if the PLA Navy were to come in strength, the Indian Navy's strategy, my understanding, would be to tackle them at the choke points, at Malacca, at Sunda, Lombok, Ombai-Wetar. Now, if you were to go beyond these choke points, then you would need a whole new set of combatants. Your existing warships would not be adequate. Then you would need a very large force of nuclear-powered attack submarines, because nuclear-powered attack submarines, or SSNs as they're called, they are the only combatants that can operate on their own in enemy waters, in contested waters. Because, conventional submarines, I call conventional submarines, they're actually submersibles. And no offense meant to all my friends out there on the conventional boats, you're doing a great job. But they are limited by their design, by their diesel electric propulsion. Even if they have air independent propulsion, they're submersibles. They go out, they sail, they're submerged for a certain number of days, and then they have to resurface for air. Whereas a nuclear-powered attack submarine is not limited by any of this. In fact, it's only limited by the food on board, carried on board, or by the endurance of the crew. Because that nuclear reactor gives you unlimited power. You can stay underwater almost indefinitely. And it is a platform like this which is able to carry a very large weapon load of torpedoes, anti-ship missiles, and land attack cruise missiles that has the ability to significantly influence the maritime battle and also the battle on land. So if you look at it, the US Navy has something like more than 50 nuclear-powered attack submarines. It has more nuclear-powered attack submarines than the rest of the world put together. And that is how they exercise sea control. And they dominate the oceans of the world. So if India were to go beyond the barrier, I call it, of the Malacca Straits, it will have to build up a larger force of nuclear-powered attack submarines.